Hello, hello, hello. This is Miss Sue with More Than Enough Ministries. And so I'm coming on to just kind of give you an overview of what our ladies were talking about on our Bible study last night. So we're talking about a lady in the Bible named Vashti. Y'all know about her? Y'all heard about her? Vashti. She is an amazing woman in the Bible that is a perfect example of how we should be. Because of who she is and how she carried herself, she showed us how to be and appreciate that we are more than enough. Remember, that's the name of this channel. You are more than enough. So let me tell you just an overview real quick. It's taken from Esther chapter 1, verse 10 through 22. And the story goes like this. So Vashti's husband, King Xerxes, he was having a party for his homies. They were all over there and they were turned up. They were listening to music and they were drinking and eating and just having a really, really good time. On the other side of the palace, Queen Vashti was hosting a party for the ladies of the palace. So she was having a good time with them and just enjoying the girls. You know how we do on a Saturday when we do hang out with our girlfriends? That's what Vashti was doing. So King Xerxes, he thought to himself in his drunkenness, he was like, you know what? My wife is fine. She is fine. I'm going to show her off in front of all these guys. So he called the 9 eunuchs. He was like, hey, go get my wife. Go get Queen Vashti. Tell her to put on her crown and come and show herself in front of my boys. So the eunuchs went and they told her, they were like, your husband wants you to come. The king said, for you to put on your crown and for you to come and walk in front of all the men and show yourself how beautiful you are. Vashti was like, you tell him no. You tell him no, I am not coming. She sure did. Now keep in mind, by her resisting her husband, the king, she was risking her life. But because she's more than enough, she told him no. So they went back and they were like, oh my God, she gonna get in trouble. So they went back there like, King Xerxes. Queen Vashti said she ain't coming. She said no, she is not coming. She is not leaving the party with her girls to come and be in front of your boys so that they can look at her and stare at her and grope all over her. Yeah, she was not happening. Man, if we look at it how it would have been today if that happened, boys be like, oh man, your wife dogged you out. Oh man, she told you, I guess she told you, she ain't coming out. So the king was embarrassed, needless to say, because this just don't be happening. And so it was like, oh my goodness, now all the other women gonna start refusing their husbands when they ask them to do stuff. So King Xerxes, he was worried. So he called his little, boys, and he was like, well, what do you think I should do? What do you think I should do? And they were like, man, if you don't put her out the house, and then put a decree out there saying that, no women should disrespect their king or their husbands, man, we gonna be in trouble with these women. They just gonna go butt wild. So he was like, that's a good idea. I like that. So he called her up. He's like, yo, I need you to take out your crown. Give me that crown. You're not queen no more. And I need you to pack your stuff. And I need you to leave this palace. So Vashti did. But on the back end of that was okay, because when Vashti stepped down from being queen, that opened door for Queen Esther to come. But that's another whole story. So I digress back to this. So I want to talk about Queen Vashti and why I say that she's more than enough. And she's such an empowering woman. First of all, when her husband, she's a great host. She was hosting the women, hanging out with them, having a good time. She wasn't all up in the room with the men, trying to be something, be seen. She was in her proper place with her girls. And so when she was asked to put on her crown and walk in front of them and model in front of them and show off in front of them so her husband could feel like, he all that in the bag of chips, and she said no, she had dignity. That was the first thing she had. She had dignity. She was like, no, these men are not going to disrespect me. And yes, King Xerxes is my husband, but I'm hosting the party right now, and I'm not leaving to go and do that. So she had dignity about herself. Like, no, I don't think so. What's the second thing she had? She had boundaries. It was like, you know what? Look, I'll do this, that, and the third for my boo. But when you ask me to do something like that, no. Side note, I remember dating this guy long time ago, back in my worldly days, and we were at a club and we were dancing. I had this back in the day. They wore them dusters. I had a long coat duster on, but I had a skin tight outfit on underneath. So I'm dancing and I turn my back on him and I'm like dancing. All of a sudden I feel a breeze and I went to look behind me and he had lifted up my duster and was telling his boys to look at my butt. I snatched that thing down. I was like, we leaving right now. That's disrespectful. So yeah, now I come back here. No, she had dignity and she had boundaries. Like, no, you not gonna flaunt me like that. No, you are not gonna disrespect me, and no, I'm not gonna put myself out like that. No. So dignity, boundaries. What's the third thing she had? She had courage. Why did she have courage? Number one, because she was more than enough. Okay, but also, even if it cost her life to say no to her king, she'd rather do that than disgrace herself in front of those men. Sometimes our no's are going to cost us. It's going to cost us some friendships, some relationships, whatever the case may be. But so let your no be sure it comes from God and then stand firm on it. Don't bend, don't sway, don't back up. Stay with it. All right. And lastly, she knew her worth. We have to know we have to know our worth. I tell my queens on my Zoom call, I said, remember who your daddy is. He's God. You got to know you got to know your worth. You got to know that you're worthy and that you are worth more than being flaunted in front of a bunch of foolish drunkards. Yeah, you are more than that. So she had dignity, she had boundaries, she was courageous, and she knew her worth. Vashti was more than enough. If you want to read about her, go to Esther chapter 1, verse 10 through 22 to see what happened. But hey, I would rather walk out with my head up and my crown straight than to walk out with my head down, feeling like, man, I jacked up. She was able to walk out and still hold her head up because she knew that she did the right thing. And the price she gave up was being queen, but it was worth it because she was able to walk out with her dignity. What are you willing to sacrifice and lose your dignity for? And gain your dignity because you did the right thing. Think about it. Always remember that you don't have to settle. You don't have to be disrespected. And I'm talking to the men too. It goes both ways. You don't have to be looked down upon. You don't have to be told to do something that you don't want to do. The Bible tells us in Matthew 5:37, I believe it is, let your yes be yes and let your no be no. So if you want to say yes, God has told you to say yes, say yes. But if God tells you to say no, say no. All right? This is Miss Sue. I'm tuning out for right now. But just know that you are more than enough. Okay? Don't forget it. God loves you and so do I.